Didn't see you there. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to show you how to use WeVideo. I don't like that part, so I'm going to cut it out, but we'll keep it rolling. Okay, let's try again. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm so glad you're here. So this second one, I'm going to actually show you how to use stock images and stock videos. And my favorite ones are the ones where they show scientists observing things, and that woman who's got, like, she's a scientist and she's holding a magnifying glass, staring, trying to figure out a pepper. Okay, so that's one of them I'll do. I'm also going to show you how to add captions, either in a video where you have text going across the video, or separately so that it's like an introduction with just text. I'm going to show you how to do a green screen. And if you see behind me right now, it's not green, it's blue, but it works. And so you want to make sure it's big enough to cover the entire area. Let's see, I'm going to show you transitions, how you can do different transitions. And most of this is just editing and cropping and adding things and taking things away. I also tried a video earlier with the green screen that didn't work. It's the first time I've done it that it didn't work. And what I figured out, I added more light because it's really, I don't have much light in my house right now. It's just natural lighting with a kitchen light over there. And when we were doing this earlier, I had a light on above the table that my son is sitting at right now. And when I tried to do the green screen, there was too much light. So if there's any shadows from other places, it totally screws it up. And that's what was screwing it up for my kids when they were making their videos for their weather forecasts. We tried to put too much light on it. So I'm discovering a lot of things about this. So this is a good thing. What else am I going to show you? Can you think of anything? This is where I'm going to go when I think of other things, and I'm going to put this part in there. So one more thing, Seamus, don't stop. Okay. One more thing is I'm going to take the phone away from you so that I can show you this whole thing will be edited. Oh, there he is. This is my son, and you know you're doing it right for middle school if your son does, or your daughter, or your significant other if they do this. Yeah, if there's constant eye rolling, you're doing it right. Yes. All right. Are we done? Are we good? Did I forget anything? You're good. You want to go back to sleep?
Yeah.
Go back to playing video games?
Watching YouTube.
Okay. You're back on me. Whoa. All right. So that's it. One thing that if you're going to be doing this, you can either do it one long string like this, or you can do segments. So we're going to cut it there. So here is the second segment. So if I want it in smaller bits, I can do it like that. And make sure you pause at the end for editing purposes so it doesn't like get cut off mid-sentence. So like this. Okay, now cut it off. So this time you're gonna end it as soon as you think I'm done. Like, so I'm talking, then done. And then it's really hard to work with if you try to edit it and there's not enough room at the beginning or the end. So you want to make sure you give it a minute. Okay, so we're gonna start. So what we're going to do, we're going to start from scratch. We're going to pretend you have no idea even how to get to WeVideo. So we're going to start by going to Canvas. And if you've never even opened your Canvas, every teacher in the Everett Public School District has a Canvas. So what you can do if you're not sure how to get there is go to Everett Public Schools there, and you need to be signed in. And if you go to staff, click on staff, and down here where it says more staff tools, you're going to have all of this fun stuff. And there it is. Click on Canvas and it will take you to your Canvas page. Everybody has what's called a sandbox. If you go into sandbox and look for WeVideo, and they're in different places. I've messed with mine before. But if you go to WeVideo, there you go. So what you're going to do when you start this, you're going to go to create new. There is this teacher's guide. I found that really confusing because you had to read and go back and forth. So what I'm going to do here is go to new video. And then you have to pick where you want to put it. Now, if you have nothing, then don't worry about it. You won't have anything. So you don't have to worry about where you're going to put that. But you can, I'm going to go to recording for tutorial. Let's try that. And there we go. So what I'm going to do here, the first thing that comes up is all these stock images, stock media, and they're kind of fun because you can search for different things. I'm going to come back to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is upload the videos I want, because Carly was saying that she wanted to do what she saw something else that I had already done. So if you go into my media, I've got tons of stuff here that I've already been doing, but I'm going to pretend like I have nothing. My biggest piece of advice here is that you start a new folder for everything you're doing, so you don't end up with tons and tons and tons of stuff that you're not sure where things are. So what I'm going to do is right click over here in this empty space, and I'm going to add a new folder, and I'm going to change it to, let's see, tutorial for Carly and Brian. Okay, there we go. So now, wait for the ambulance to go by. Now I'm going to double click on that. And here's the thing about WeVideo. Everything is a double click. It drove me crazy before because it would look like I was clicking on something and nothing would happen. Everything's a double click. Now what I'm going to do here is, you're not going to have any of this stuff yet if you've never done this before. So I've got tons of my own media. What I'm going to do here though is I'm going to go over here to import. And wherever you have been saving your videos that you want to use, I have a Mac, so I just airdrop everything from my iPhone. But however you've saved it, you browse to select. All of mine is already in my downloads. So here's all the videos that I made today. I have a screw up that I'm also going to import because I want to show you why that is screwed up. So I have this one and all of these that I'm going to add. Once you click open, it's going to start importing them. So I'm going to pause this video here and let that work, and then I'll come back so I'm not wasting so much time. So now that everything has made its way into this folder, all these videos, I'm going to show you how I put together the first part. So I had everything already together so you could watch it. Now there's a couple things you can do. I'm going to go kind of overboard with all the things, and then you can ignore the things you don't want, and you can come back and look at it again for the things you do. But a lot of times what I'll do, just to keep myself from getting confused, is make sure I have these in the correct order or rename them. So like my first one that I'm going to put in is numbered 2898, and then I'm going to do 2899. So I can go in that order. I'm going to remember that. But if you wanted to rename them, like this one right here, I know from what I'm wearing is the mistake. If I right click on it, I can rename it to keep yourself organized. Now, you don't have to do that, but all of this stuff I have so many videos that it gets really confusing. So sometimes I will rename them by date or what order I'm going to put them in. All right, so I know though that I'm going in order, and some of them I've actually downloaded twice by accident. But this one, this longer one, the 3-minute one, is the first one I'm going to start with. So I'm going to bring that down here, and I'm going to put it right to the edge, and notice it's in video 1. You could put it in video 2 if you're going to use green screen. I'm not going to do green screen for this yet though, so I'm putting it in video 1. Okay, and then I'm going to put in my next one down here. Just drag it down. If you try to overlap it, it's going to be red, so you can't see it. Okay, and then this one is going to go here. Okay, and then this one. All right, so if I play this back, it would be exactly what you saw at the very beginning of this. All right, here we go. I'm going to show you how to edit from the first video that I made. So here's that first video that you watched. I'm going to bring it down here, and we're going to start at the beginning. Okay, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to decide what I want to cut. So the very first part of it, I purposely made knowing I didn't want it. So here we go. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to show you how to use WeVideo. I don't like that part, so I'm going to cut it out, but we'll keep it rolling. Okay, let's try again. All right, this is where I actually want it to start. So I paused it there. I'm going to come over here, And there's two ways you can do this. We're going to cut it with the little scissors here. That's going to separate the part I don't want from the part I want. And you can either click on the little trash can to get rid of it, or you can drag it over like that. Okay, either way works. Ta-da. And then I'm going to make this the beginning and drag it down to the front there. All right. So there is a way to have an intro like I did on mine that you can add in there. You could start with that, but I'm going to show you as we get to the video part that said we were going to do that. So let's see what it says next. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm so glad you're here. So this second one, I'm going to actually show you how to use stock images and stock videos. And my favorite ones are the ones where they show scientists observing things, and that woman who's got, like, she's a scientist and she's holding a magnifying glass, staring, trying to figure out a pepper. All right, so there's where I want to put that in. Now, normally I probably wouldn't have started with how to put in stock images and stuff like that, but because that was the beginning of my video with the pepper, that's where I'm going to put it. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to move this out of the way because I want to put that crazy stock image in there, or the video. So what you need to do here is go up to stock media. There is so much there. So many things you can add. Now, I've searched these and found all kinds of crazy stuff, so I know exactly what I'm looking for, so you can be really explicit here. So I'm going to say woman scientist with pepper. And there she is. This is so great. All right, so I'm going to put her right there, okay? And then I'm going to move this back over, and we're going to watch that part. So we can drag this over just to where we want to start watching it. So the very end of that clip to the crazy biochemist examining fresh yellow pepper in laboratory. Okay, so let's watch it from there. Staring, trying to figure out a pepper. Look at her go. Yeah. I don't know, look at there. This is really important because there's test tubes there, right? And yeah, here's her computer. She's going to look at something there. Oh, yeah. Okay, back to the pepper. Yeah. So if we take this back and we start a little bit where we were here. And she's holding a magnifying glass, staring, trying to figure out a pepper. All right, so we've got that in, and where it ends picks up where we left off. Okay, so that's one of them I'll do. I'm also going to show you how to add captions, either in a video where you have text going across the video. Okay, so that part I'm going to put right here across the video. So I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to move this over. And so what I want is text to be in front of this part of the video where I was saying that. So what I need to do is go up here to text, click on that. Okay, over here, I have motion, which means it's going to give me all these really fun ones that you can do where you put in your own words. So it's going to look like this. Okay, I like to save those for intros and things like that. So if I want something that I'm going to keep simple and have it over the text, you might want to go to static. When you go to static, you could do something that's going to be in the lower part of it here, or I'm just going to stick with this one, this simple text. So if I drag this here and I put it over me, and I want it just at the back part of that, you can see how many seconds long it's going to be when you move this. See, 4, 12, 14. I can make it long, I can make it shorter. I don't need it to be very long. I just want it to be like that. So the sample text, when you click on this box right here, double click, I should say, you can change the text. So this is, I'm going to say text in front. Oops, I got to get rid of the sample text. Okay, so that's how I want it to be, and then I can move it like that. I can change the font right here. I can change that to something else. Okay, I can change the color of it. which I don't like that at all. I'm going to keep that white. It's easier to see. And I can change the size of it. I can either go in here and change it to maybe something a little smaller, or I can just move this back to change the size. Okay, like that. I'm going to save that. So when we go back to watch it, you'll be able to see that that's going to be in the front. Now, if I start this back just a little bit, and I want to watch it now. Add captions, either in a video where you have text going across the video. Okay, now I'm going to move this back over, see what it said about the next part. It's blue, but it works. Oh, that didn't work out, did it? Sometimes when you replay things, they don't turn out right. Going across the video or separately so that it's like an introduction with just text. Okay, so here's my introduction with just text. What I need to do is cut this up here, move this over. And if I'm going to do an introduction with text, or it's fun, you can use the motion one. So let's pick this one just for fun. That's what it'll look like. Okay, so I'm going to drag this down here. And it's going to be by itself, so I'm not putting it over with another one of the videos. If I double click within this, I can add my text. Okay, so text by itself for a transition. Okay, I can change this font if I want to. So I can go up here and let's say I want that. Here, let's say I'm going to do that. And again, if you want to change the size of the font here, you have to use manual and then go in and change it to whatever you want. Okay, or you can just keep it the way it is. Make this one a little smaller, like that. Okay, and then click Save Changes. So you can also make this. If you move this back and forth, how long do you want it? Do you want it to be 6 seconds long? It'll go to a certain point where it can't make it any shorter because the animation won't work. So you make that how long you want it, and then add back in this part here. So now if we watch this, oh, I forgot something. I'm going to go back and change the colors. So you can make the colors different. I can make the, let's see, the background maybe green, and make this one orange, and this one some pink color. Anyway, you can play with that and save all those changes. So now when we watch it, it's going to look much different. Okay, so we'll start over here. With just text. Wow, that's really ugly. I'm going to show you how to do a green screen. And if you see behind me right now, it's not green, it's blue, but it works. And so you want to make sure it's big enough to cover the entire area. Okay, so that's where we're going to start now. So I'm talking about a green screen. I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, so to do green screen, it's really important that you don't have shadows, okay? I'm pretty sure this one talks about that. I'll come back to that. So let's just talk about how to do it. Double click on the part you want to put the green screen. When you get to this screen, there's all kinds of different things up here that you can do. You can change the volume. This one lets you zoom in. So notice if I zoom back here, there's part of it that doesn't have the green screen over it or the blue screen. I can zoom in a little bit and move this over to get rid of that so it's all in the frame. Notice this is black, so that'll all work together. You can rotate your image. This came in really handy when the kids were making their weather videos and they recorded with their Chromebooks and it was upside down, so they could change that. Anyway, play with that. But here's the green screen, this little guy right here. Click on that, and there's the magic. This dropper right here, when you click on it once, go over here to the part that you want the green screen to be, click on that, everything's black. But it looks like it worked, but here's the important part. Go over here to mask, and now you will see that there's some shadows here, and that's going to mess up the video. Sometimes whatever you're wearing is close to the same thing as well, and that can be a problem. So if you are not completely, or whatever it is, if you're not completely in white, if you move this over, that'll help with it. But as you move this over, you'll get more shadows here. Okay, so to get rid of the shadows on the green screen, you're moving this. Okay, when you get it so that it's perfectly black and white like that, you're good. Now, if you move this over, you can see here's where the green screen isn't showing. We don't care about that right now. This isn't like a professional grade thing or anything. All right, so now that I have that, I'm going to save the changes. Now, to put something in your background, here's what you need to do. You're going to start with your video here, and you're going to move it up to video 2, because that's going to be what's behind you there. Now, I need to find something to put in here. So if you have something that you save, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll save different things. I'll have, if I go to microscopes, I'll have all my media here for my microscopes. And let's say I wanted something in the background that I did myself. So here's a picture I took of the mesh in the microscope. I could take this and I could put it behind me. And when I play it, I'm going to show you how to do a green. Okay, so that's kind of fun. You can trim this so it fits in with just that part. I'm going to get rid of this though and show you the really fun stuff. So if you go over here to stock media, this is where you can do really cool things. So let's say I have a, I haven't tried this yet. I'm just coming up with things. Speedboat. Let's see what comes up with that. Ah, there we go. Here we go. So I can have this water behind me on this boat. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to show you how to do a green screen. See, that worked out great. Right now, that's super cool. Green, it's blue, okay. But it works. And so you want to make sure it's big enough to cover the... Okay, so you see where I dragged it over and this is showing. That sometimes helps a lot if there's just little tiny fringe around the outside that didn't quite work. So that's super cool. I'm going to leave that one in there. Okay. I'm going to drag it over so it stays. Oh, nope. It's a video. I can't drag this over to make it stay. But what I can do is add in more. And when I do this, if it's overlapping this other part, so here, let me put that back. If it overlaps another part, you don't have to push this out of the way. You don't have to come back to this. Watch the options here. Okay. So if I want this here, it says trim to fit or insert. If I want to trim it, that means I don't care if I lose a piece of it. Insert and push means I don't want to lose any of it, and I don't want to lose any of the other ones. So if I insert and push, it's going to push the other one back a little bit so it fits without cutting like that. Okay, but I really don't need all of this, so I'm going to drag this over so it fits. And it kind of stops for you. You can feel when it's where it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to move this back. And then let's see what I said here. Let's see, I'm going to show you transitions, how you can do different transitions. Right there, I'm going to cut right there, and I'm going to show you a transition. You do not have to move this over like this. In fact, let me show you. Oh, that was telling me to add a transition. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to go up here to transitions. There's a whole bunch you can play with here, and if you just click on one to see what you want it to look like, and you look over here, it's going to change the picture, but it'll just give you an example. Okay, like that. These are really fun here. I'm going to put this transition in. I'm going to put it, you have to put it right in between things like that. So now when I play this area, let's see, I'm going to show you transitions. Okay, so I didn't cut. So what I need to do is come in here. I actually wanted my transition to be right there. So I'm going to move this over to that part. Okay, and I'm going to move all of this so it fits. And let's try that. That's how you can do different transitions. And most of this is just ta-da! All right, so there we have a transition. Editing and cropping and adding things and taking things away. I also tried a video earlier with... Okay, I'm going to get to that. Let's work on adding and taking things away. I also tried a video earlier. Oh, no, it didn't go back far enough. Let's see. Cropping and adding things. So cropping... we did before. I want it right where I want it. I would cut and I could get rid of this part by throwing it over there, or yeah, that's going to be the only way to do it here. Okay. I'm not going to do that though, because I want it to stay in there. Things and taking things away. I also tried it. Okay, the adding things part, that's what I'm going to do right there. So right there where I cut it, I'm going to move this one and I'm going to add something. So I can also add the stock media in and not have it be a green screen. Okay, so if I want to add something here, I love the ones where it's people doing things. So let's have somebody excited. Okay, so if you look at some of them, these are just really fun. Wow, she's so excited and it's so realistic. Yeah, how about this one? Yay, she's excited. Woohoo! All right, so you can pick one of these to put in there. Let's put this guy in. I don't even know what it is. So if I put this in here and it's too big and overlapping, insert and push or trim, I'm just going to trim it. Okay, and so by adding something in, he's very excited. Okay, I didn't like him. I'm going to get rid of him. And I'm going to put in this crazy woman here. I liked that one. Okay, I'm going to trim to fit. And let's play that one. Okay, and I don't need it to be that long. She's too crazy. Shorten this up and move this over. All right, so let's see that. I'm getting sloppy with my transitions because you can go in and fix this, but here we go. And adding things and taking things away. I also tried a video earlier with the green screen that didn't work. It's the first time I've done it that it didn't work. And what I figured out, I added more light because it's really, I don't have much light in my house right now. It's just natural lighting with a kitchen light over there. And when we were doing this earlier, I had a light on above the table that my son is sitting at right now. And when I tried to do the green screen, there was too much light. So if there's any shadows from other places, it totally screws it up. And that's what was screwing it up for my kids when they were making their videos for their weather forecasts. We tried to put too much light on it. So let me explain that there. The too much light, you can see some shadows here, but let me show you. I'm going to cut this. So I'll show you an example of the mistake. I'm going to move this way out of the way so I have plenty of room. This is a pretty long one here, so when I put this in, it's going to tell me either trim to fit or insert and push. I don't want this whole thing in there, so I'm just going to trim it to fit. There we go. Now, I want to show you what happened with this. All right, so that's starting the same way I was going to start before. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim this down. Let's see how that worked. Because I want plenty of the green screen to show. Okay, so I'm trimming the front and adding in the back. All right, now, if I double click on this, this is what's pretty amazing. I had a light on me, lots of light. And so if I click on my little dropper here, look at that. The part that was closest to the color that I dropped on went black, but there's big giant shadows. And if I go to mask this and try to fix it, it does nothing. And this is what was happening to the kids. Crazy. So when I go to add something there, if I save that and I try to add an image behind it, so let's go over here to media. This time, what can I put in here? Let's put a rainbow in. Oh, isn't that pretty? All right, let's put this in. If I put this behind, you're going to see that not all of it, it's not going to work. Well, let's just keep it there. All right, so if I play this from the beginning here. Observation, you will see the scientist. Oh, I forgot. We're doing it the wrong way. This needs to be moved up here. This needs moved up there. Okay, now let's try. Observation. See, you're going to have this spot right here, and it's I don't like that, right? So that didn't work. I hated that. So I had to start all over again. So I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need this. I just wanted to show you what happens. All right, and then let's see. I think this is the very end where, let's see. What else am I going to show you? Can you think of anything? This is where I'm going to go when I think. Okay, so this is where I was going to just show you the last little bits that I couldn't remember. All right, one thing that happens sometimes, let's say I'm going to cut this here, and I just wanted to miss the very, very, very next part, right? So I just want to cut off and have this little part gone for whatever reason. Maybe the cat meowed and I want to get rid of it. Well, sometimes you go to move this, it doesn't move. It's all kinds of stupid stuff and I can't get rid of it. What you can do is expand all of this down here. And this will make everything bigger so that now I can get rid of this. It makes everything really long. And sometimes you want it like that. So I can get rid of this now, close this gap back up again. Now make this small. And if you make it really small, then everything's really tiny. All these little transitions and everything are real tiny. So you don't want it that small. You can do it just a little bit at a time, like that. Okay. All right. Another thing that we can look at up here is audio. We're going to add some audio in here. There's all kinds of stuff. There's free music. There's sound effects. I don't like most of their sound effects. They're kind of crappy, but you could, so like here, I'll give you an example. Here's animals. So the sound of, which was the one I tried to use before, that like a cat purring. That one's okay, right? But cattle. Like, I'm sorry, I expect way more moos than that. So anyway, I don't like some of these, but I do like music. So there's the free music that is everything you can think of. You just go click on them. So you can have fun with this because there's so many different things. The premium music to me is no different than the other music. But some of these are really fun to have in there, like even where you don't expect them. So like the suspenseful music, if you put this in, that's not very suspenseful, like this. But you put it with something really happy and then it makes it really silly. Anyway, so there's all kinds of fun stuff there. So I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to put it in with this transition. Okay, so let's pick something cheerful. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag it down here. And whoops, I started put it in the wrong place. It's got to go in audio. Okay, I'm going to put it down here in audio. And then I'm going to cut it. And I can get rid of it there. So that when I play this, ta-da! So that works that way. If I want to go to the end here, to the very last little bit. So one more thing. James, don't stop. Okay. One more thing is I'm going to take the phone away from you. Okay, so this part I said, this is just extra that I don't need. I can get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of all of it. And then if I want just a shot of my son rolling his eyes. If your son does, or your daughter, or your significant other, if they do this. Yeah. If they're okay, I want that in there. Let's go back. Significant other, if they do this.
Can I not do that?
Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, you have to have a quiet background where people aren't making their lunch and talking to you, but that's okay. All right, so let me just finish this up here. I need to go back just a little bit more. Okay, right there. I'm going to get rid of this. Put that there. Right. If they do this. Yeah, if there's constant eye rolling, you're doing it right. All right, so yes. All right, I think I've covered just about everything. Those last little bits were just suggestions for how that'll work. So I think what we'll do is we will, I'm going to add this to the end of the video with all of the cuts and everything we did. Yeah, so I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to get rid of this. And then I'm going to put my credits, my end credits in. So I'm to text here, the static one. No, not citations. We want end credits. So you can I do this at the end of every one of mine, and you can change it up. So if you double click and you go here, directed by, and you could put Martin Scorsese. You can put anybody you want in here, but I'll just put my name. And then sometimes what I'll do, I'll say starring instead of produced by. Oh, I did that wrong. Starring. Starring me. I'll put camera person. And I usually put like a stunt double down here. So I'll put stunt doubles. Ta-da! And there you go. I mean, you can change all the font and everything in here, but I'm going to leave it at that because I'm sure you're getting tired because this ended up being really long. And I'm going to lastly add audio to that one. Let's see. No, let's add some spooky. Okay, here we go, spooky. We're going to add that there. And you can have it go on a little bit longer and you can fade it out by playing with all this, but I don't know about you, but I think you can work with here. Okay, so I'm going to save all this. Here's the last little bit. When you are done, everything's saving on its own. You don't have to keep saving as you go. But when you're done, you have to go up here to finish. And when you finish, what's going to happen, you're going to name it. I'm just going to keep it at that. Name it whatever you want. This is important. Okay, I always save it to high definition. It takes a little bit longer. But if you want to save it to your Google Drive, you have to click this and always make it public because WeVideo is also going to share it with you. And if this doesn't say public, you can't share that link that they send you. You can also share it to Canvas. Oops, nope, maybe I can't. Oh, I haven't enrolled it. Okay, but anyway, you can definitely save it to your Google Drive. Okay, export, and you are done. You got to let that run because the longer it is, the longer it's going to take. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully, you learned something from this. And if you have questions, let me know. This was fun to make. I'm going to go put it all together now because that was just a small piece of it. All right? Yay! Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Oh, hey, funny running into you here. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Oh, who am I kidding? You're always there. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there.
Hello, welcome to Heatherwood Middle School. Over here, we have a torrential rainstorm. Look at the child flowing down the river. Isn't it lovely? Goodbye, Johnny!